Be extremely careful what your kids watch on YouTube. It was then that the goat, who hadn't really done anything but stand there with no expression, grabbed the sandwich and crammed the entire disgusting thing down Sheep's throat. Sheep's eyes bugged out his skull as he tried to shove Goat off of him, but the goat didn't budge, forcing Sheep's mouth shut so the sheep had to swallow an entire sandwich in one go. Normally in cartoons, this is where we'd see a sandwich-shaped lump go down Sheep's throat. That didn't happen. As he would in real life, Sheep choked. He gasped and gagged, clearly trying to spit the lump of sandwich out of his throat, but he couldn't. Goat went back to sitting to the side like nothing was the matter, now taking the time to make his own sandwich, a much more civilized peanut butter and jelly. Sheep slowly sank behind the counter, where his choking grew quieter and quieter, until it just came to a horrid stop. Goat looked up at the camera, and for the first time in the video, he spoke. "See you next time." That was it. There weren't even credits. The video just ended. I felt sick. The choking sounded so real. No wonder James was embarrassed. He was caught. He knew he shouldn't be watching things like this. I knew we had to talk tonight about this. But before we did that, I needed to know all I could about Sheep and Goat. So I clicked on another video, the one with them on the boat. Again, it started normal. Sheep and Goat were sailing in the ocean, Sheep caterwauling about some nonsense about how gorgeous the water was. Halfway through the episode, Goat shoved Sheep's ass into the water, where the sheep screamed and cried as he did his best to tread water. But after a few minutes, he sunk like a stone. Once again, Goat looked up at the camera and blankly told us that he'd see you next time, and the video ended. I was disgusted. I clicked on the volunteer video. At first, they were just feeding poor underfed-looking rabbits and chickens, but when the stew pot went empty, Goat tossed Sheep into the pot and shut the lid over him. Sheep screamed as he was burned to death inside of the pot. Once he was dead, Goat opened up the pot and started cutting off slices, tossing burnt wool and rare meat onto the plates of the hungry. See you next time. I hated it. I wanted to stop, but I clicked on the next one anyway, the one where they were going on a walk. I knew what to expect by now. That cheery, stupid music, Sheep's annoying as hell voice grating my eardrums as they skipped down a path and up a hill. Goat just quietly followed along, not speaking, not making any expression. Once they were up there, Goat attacked Sheep. He tackled him to the ground and beat him with a block of wood. Once Sheep was unconscious, Goat grabbed a hammer and nails. This time Goat actually smiled as he pressed one of the nails right above Sheep's hoof. Goat slammed the hammer down just as my phone began to ring, but I couldn't pause in time to avoid hearing Sheep's blood-curdling scream. I turned off the tablet and swallowed the bile coming up my throat. This was terrible. James needed help. A therapist at the very least, if not a full inpatient stay for juvenile psychopaths. I grabbed my phone and saw it was coming from the kids' school. I answered, trying to ignore that feeling of dread that crept up my spine. "Hello, Thompson residence? Mr. Thompson, you need to come down to the school right away." My heart dropped into my stomach. "What happened?" "Your son James left the school premises during recess. He brought his little brother with him. We can't find them. Your daughter Olivia said they were going on a walk."